I think one of my favorite trends, like ever, is Spotify Wrapped turning into Life Wrapped, Relationships Wrapped, Money Wrapped. Could there not be a better trend? I love it. So here is our Money Wrapped of 2024 as a family of 3, 2 parents and 1 1.5-year-old. Let me just preface by saying that 2023 slapped us in the face and then dropped us off a cliff, both financially and emotionally. So we made some huge changes in 2024. It took us a while to bounce back, but here are our biggest moves of last year, because it is January 1 today. Firstly, our income. Our income went from literally zero. Connor was working for free and I was on mat leave. We had already finished the Centrelink that is provided to Australians on maternity leave. And so we had 0 income. Of course, that meant our savings went all the way down to literally 0. I then started work part-time at a law firm. I was on a 90k package, that's including super, prorated for part-time. So my yearly income was $47,793, bringing home an annual income of $41,994.50. That was our household income annually. In August of 2024, I went full-time. Yay! Finally, I was able to secure myself a job as a lawyer with an $106,000 package. So again, including salary. So that means it's about $95k with $7,000 going into super. Bringing home after tax, $68,000 starting in August of 2024. Connor got a full-time job. Yay! After months of hunting in September with a $72,000 package, which means he was bringing home $52,000. This means that from January of 2024 to January of 2025, we brought home together $61,000 over the course of the year. Our savings. Drum roll, please. From January to September, remembering that we only had my part-time income, we saved about $7,000. It would go up and down from 10, but hovered around the $6,000 to $7,000 mark. Our savings is now in January of 2025 at $25,000. So that's just over a third of our income that we brought home. It's not fantastic, it's not great, but our savings rate has jumped to over 50% of our income since we changed our environment, our mindset, and got new jobs. Yay! Changing our environment, I will just add here, changing our environment and our mindset was huge, because whilst we only had a part-time income for the majority of the year, we weren't paying rent. So I believe that our savings could have been higher, not a lot higher, because we only brought home $22,000 from January until August. So it's not actually that much money, but we could have probably saved more of that, considering we weren't paying rent. But what was happening was that we had no hope. I couldn't secure my job as a lawyer. Connor couldn't secure a job. And we just felt like there was no hope. How were we ever going to move forward, even not having to pay rent? How were we going to move forward when we had such a low income? We felt so devastated. There were a lot of other things going on emotionally in the background. We were just a mess. We were not ourselves, and our mindset was very much in a scarcity mindset when it came to money. The month after we both secured full-time jobs in October, we went and spoke to a broker and we were like, okay, how are we doing this? How are we getting into the property market? And we realized that it's possible. It's very possible very soon. The amount of hope that gave us, because we thought we were so behind, the amount of hope that gave us game changing. We were suddenly able to change all of our habits. We were able to save over 50% of our income consistently since September. Your environment has a big impact on your mindset, which has a big impact on your money, much bigger than what you probably realize. So yes, whilst our savings could be higher, I am very happy with the fact that it has been we've consistently saved over 50% of our income since September. Our expenses we have kept at $2,500 a fortnight. Those expenses include, our expenses are our car, so rego, insurance, any maintenance, utilities, so phone, electricity, water, our food, like groceries, our entertainment, so dates with Connor, with Henry as a family, socializing, gym membership. I have a gym membership, Connor does not, because he has allowed me to have one that will include all of the things. I have a very fancy gym membership. It's $55 a week. I have a very bad back and it includes Pilates. It has a sauna. It has a pool. It has the works. I'm obsessed with my gym. I love it. So thank you to Connor for foregoing a gym membership so that I might have such an expensive one. Our daycare fees, of course. Daycare. How could I forget that? That's our biggest expense. Our storage unit fees, gifts, our charity or giving account. Perfect. Yeah. So they are all of our expenses, and that brings us to $2,596. Now, like I said, from January until September, our savings rate was not very good. We had these base expenses, and then we were dipping into our savings to cover other things like clothes. I don't know what else. Just extra spending. We were just overspending on things because we weren't feeling great, and we were using the spending to make ourselves feel better. Now, since September, since hope has been restored, since our environment has changed, since we are feeling so much more on track and just better in life, we have been able to keep our expenses as the bare bone expenses. We've saved exactly what we said we were going to save. We've spent exactly what we said we were going to spend. We are feeling great. It's basically like a no spend month every month outside of what we've budgeted for. And to me, that's okay. I'm happy to forego buying any clothes or for some reason that's the only example I can find right now. Clothes, skincare, anything else like that, because I can see how close we are to our goals. Previously, I couldn't see how close we were. So just as a little aside, if you are feeling stuck in your financial situation and you don't know how you're going to get into the property market, you don't know how you're going to buy your next investment property or buy your home or whatever, wherever you are, just go and speak to a broker. Go and speak to a few different brokers and find out potentially what the options are. Speak to a property strategist. Pumped on Property do free strategy sessions, like a free initial call to have a check-in with you, see where you are. Speak to a broker first, get a feel of your situation, then speak to a property strategist. You'll be surprised at what you will actually be able to achieve, especially if you have some sort of profession. Like if your title is a lawyer, a dentist, a vet, a doctor, a physiotherapist. I think they're the only ones I can think of right now, but the ability for you to get into the property market is a lot easier. Yes, so now that I have that goal and it seems so attainable, it's so much closer for us, I am so happy to forego spending. I can now say to myself, because I often am like, your body fluctuates, you put on weight, whatnot, your period, everything makes you feel like you need more clothes. Or like just generally scrolling Instagram. I have basically stopped scrolling my personal Instagram because even posts that aren't selling, I am buying into. Like I saw this hilarious post by this girl. This is not going to go well because I don't know her name. I don't know. Anyway, I might put it up because I think it's so funny.
She's putting up more Christmas lights. More Christmas lights. Around the back of the house. Who puts up Christmas lights on the back of the house? I'm absolutely sick of it. Because every night, all I can see through the blinds and the curtains is blue flashing lights. Blue, the electric blue ones.
But she was wearing this beautiful blue sweater. And it was like just a comedy post. She wasn't selling anything. It wasn't an ad. She was just being funny. And I was like, oh, I need a blue jumper like that. And then I went and hunted for it. I didn't buy it, but I hunted for it. This is the kind of like mindset you have to actively battle against if you want to meet your financial goals and fully get serious with your financial goals. And I was happy to do that the first half of the year, not happy to do that. I was actually quite resentful of it. I was like, well, F this, I'm going to just do whatever I want because that's going to make me happy and I don't see a way out of this. And if I can feel happy today, fine, because I don't see how we're going to feel happy in a year from now. So your mindset is super important for this. So what I'm saying is I am so much happier now to say I don't actually need those pants. I don't actually need a new top, even though that top will go with those pants and that'll make it mean I can wear those pants. Or I don't really need those shoes, even though that outfit needs the shoes to work. I don't need it. I can actually survive with the things that I have. Once my mindset shifted and my goals felt so attainable, my needs shifted, and I realized that every time I was saying to myself, oh, I need that skincare, every time I was saying I need something, I had convinced myself that I needed it and I didn't actually need it. For example, I don't know about anyone else, but all of my underwear always die at the same time. And suddenly I have no underwear that fits me because they've all just disintegrated. That is an actual need. That is something you're allowed to go out and buy. That is something you can say to yourself, yes, I genuinely need to go and buy underwear because I have none left. They have all just fallen apart at once. As opposed to, I really need that new top so that I can wear those pants, or I really need a different pair of shoes so that that outfit is tied together in a better way. Another example, I'll stick to the clothes example because that's all I have right now. You've put on a lot of weight and suddenly you don't have any tops to wear to work because they all don't fit you. Yes, you need a new top. You need maybe 2 or 3 new tops so that you can wear them to work and feel okay at work. Like, that's important. It's important to feel okay at work. But you don't need it just so that you look a little bit more elevated or so that you look a little bit more chic or put together. There's a real difference in like what your actual needs are. So I have found that since our goals have become more attainable, since my mindset has shifted, since my environment has shifted, I have been able to properly assess what is a need and what is just a very strong want. What that means is that I have been able to then stick to our predetermined budget, if you will, our predetermined spend plan, so that we can stick to our savings goal. I will say this level of budgeting, managing your cash flow, is actually quite restrictive, and I wouldn't recommend it for ever, like indefinitely. It's very attainable right now to do no spend months, which I didn't even realize that's what we were doing, but that's effectively what we're doing. We're doing no spend months, month after month, because A, we have allowed ourselves some wiggle room within our budget. Like, I'm allowed to spend money on coffee. We're allowed to go out for a family like breakfast. We have different ways of allowing ourselves to spend money so that it doesn't feel like we're just completely being restrictive. But these effective no spend months, month on month on month, is only achievable for a certain amount of time. It's more of a sprint, and you can't hold that mentality forever. You can't be in that spirit of restriction and delayed gratification forever. You actually have to have an end point, because otherwise your brain will rebel against yourself, and then you will undo all of the hard work. You'll undo it quite quickly. Basically, you only have to rebel against yourself, and like within 2 weeks, all of your hard work for the last few months could be undone. As I'm sure you would have guessed, as we had no income or very low income for majority of the year, we were not able to contribute a lot to our investments or to our super. But since September, returning to full-time work and increasing our income, we have been able to return to investing, which is fantastic. Actually, part of our fixed expenses includes investing. It includes a very minimal amount going straight to our ETF. I'm not going to say which one because that goes against financial advice guidelines. But yes, we have a single ETF, just tracks the market index. We invest in that every fortnight and it's just a minimal amount. But we decided to put that in as a fixed expense because it's very easy to drop it when you feel like you don't have a high enough income, and we've been out of the game. Timing the market, better than timing the market, and we have been out of the market for a little while now. So we were like, this is a must. We must put this in as a fixed expense. For our mindset as well, because it was really getting to both of us that we weren't investing, even though we knew that it was so important to for the compound interest to be doing it for a long period of time. Also, we have the principle of saving your emergency fund and getting your foundations correct first before you start investing. We were finding that it was very damaging to our mindset, our money mindset. So we decided that alongside saving for our emergency fund, which we have now finished saving for, yay, we were going to be investing. So we put it into our fixed expenses. I also think we could do that because our fixed expenses were so low. So we weren't paying a huge amount of rent. Therefore, we could put that money towards investing. Okay, in terms of our investments over the last year, Connor added $1,351 to his super, but his total balance increase was $4,877. I added $6,989 to my super, but my total balance increase is $12,837. This just goes to show the importance of super and investing, because I only added $7,000, but I returned almost $13,000 because of the investments doing the work. In terms of ETF investing, we contributed $1,000 only over the course of the year, but now that is worked into our budget, that is set to increase, so looking forward to that. That looks like a total balance increase of $6,762. Now that is pretty amazing. Again, this just shows the power of investing, doing the work for you, and I think most of our ETFs grew by 35%, so just shows how important investing is, that we could only contribute $1,000 in the year, but we've gained over $6,000. Pretty good. ETF investing increased by $5,650. So all up, we added $9,340 to our super and ETF investing, but our total balance increase was $23,363. I think that's pretty flipping amazing, and it definitely highlights the importance of continually adding to your investments, because that is literally money working for you. Looking forward to 2025, we have big goals. We want to keep our spending rate at 45% or less of our income, and our saving/investing rate at 55% or more of our income. A big goal of ours is to grow our income. Connor is in a commission-based role that he's only just started, so there is scope for his commission to continually increase over the course of the year. And I'm working on little side hustles for extra money, and so we are doing everything that we can to increase our income so that hopefully our savings and our investing can grow even faster. We must buy an investment property this year, and I will be starting a series on how to buy your first property. We're in the middle of going through the whole process from start to finish, figuring out what the first step is, who to speak to, how to know if they're the right person, the right fit for you. I'll do a little series on getting into the property game for the first time. And we want to go away for my 30th birthday in September and for our 5-year wedding anniversary in January of 2026. So we will need to save for those holidays too. Going away for those big events is something that is really important to us because one of our big goals this year is to work on strengthening our marriage. And so actually getting away and putting intentional time for each other in those holidays, it goes beyond just having like a little bit of luxury in your life. It's more about having that quality time as a couple. And B, our personalities are such that we would forever put this off, forever, because it doesn't align with our financial goals. And then we would feel resentful about it. So if we don't take the opportunities of these big milestones, like a 30th birthday, a 5th wedding anniversary, like they're big milestones. We need to be taking those opportunities as they come and making sure it happens. So there are 3 big financial goals. We don't have a specific saving or investing figure because we don't know what our income is going to be. And so we have just made it a percentage-based goal. So continuing to save and invest over 55% of our income. I'm so excited to start this series on how to get into the property market for the first time. It has been really fun, really exciting, and we have been very lucky to have friends who are very interested in the property market, guiding us along the way, as well as the Pumped on Property brothers. Their podcast is fantastic, and this is Money, used to be My Millenial Money, John Pidgeon on that. Also fantastic. So I feel like we have a good little team around us who have been really supportive, and I can't wait to kind of collate everything we've learned and put that into a series for you so that if you're getting into the property market either for the first time or the first time in a long time, yeah, let's do it together. 2025 is our year. Here's to a huge 2025. So big, in fact, that I cried in my car the other day because I was so afraid of how big my goals are. And I think that that's how big everyone's goals should be. So big that they terrify you. You know what I'm more afraid of though, and what I think I was really crying about, is not the idea of not reaching those goals. I am terrified of staying stuck, terrified of being where we are year after year after year. That is an awful feeling. And I think I am at the point where the fear of staying where I am is like outweighing the fear of anything else. And I think that means we're on the precipice, we're on the cusp of something big. I'm very excited. I am terrified at the same time, and let's do it. Let's stay accountable together. Let's stay consistent. Let's stay laser focused. We've got this. Thanks for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.